My name is Swift, and I'm very excited to have a play session today with the Bungie dev, Josh Markham, who is the senior art lead. They're responsible for the maps in the game, the maps team lead. And, in terms of how the maps are laid out, designed, the visuals, the art direction and quality. And I'm super excited.
I am Josh Markham. I am the maps team lead on Marathon. So I'm in charge of all maps content, which is to say how things are laid out, level design, and art quality, visuals, some style in there. It's pretty broad and a pretty sticky thing. I've been on this project for a few years now. Very excited about I don't know, getting to talk about things even before I knew I was going to be on a stream. Just like seeing people playing the game is always a huge moment, so it's really exciting.
I'm loving the game too. So Josh, I do have one just about the maps itself from a viewer, Clean Plays. Clean is wondering if the maps will change over time.
Background processes engaged. Searching for signs of human life.
That's a good question. I think the answer, has to be yes. But what that actually means is very much interpreted differently by different individuals, and it's still something that we're trying to figure out. So so with maps, it's the places that you go to, how they're connected to each other, like what are rotations like and everything. And then there's another layer on top of that we call activity, but it's the things that you do in that. Those are two separate things that I think will change over time to different degrees and in different ways. Changing the layout of a building is a good amount of work, and it might not be the most exciting thing to players. New spaces probably are. Figuring out how to do that, in addition to new maps over time, is something that we're trying to figure out. And then there are the more dynamic things like weather and events that I think you'll be seeing more of, certainly post alpha, but then off into the future as well.
My question was just about factions, and do you feel like the faction upgrades are currently able to be progress at a good pace, and what kind of progress will persist for players across other seasons? So I know it's not really map and art direction and visuals and stuff, but a couple questions about the factions.
This unfortunately has to be one of the areas where I just don't really know.
Okay.
I've had my time in the alpha and even the version of the game that.
Sorry. You got me. My bad, continue. Sorry.
Not a problem. Even the version that is in the alpha is immediately different than versions that we've been playing internally, and that we're still iterating on it here. I can't really speak to the goals of the team responsible for contracts and factions.
Okay.
Yeah. Least satisfying answer I'm going to give you today. Sorry.
This is a 2-month-old build, correct? I think they were saying.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So with what's coming in September, are there more things added to the environment besides more lightning and weather-related stuff? In my personal opinion, I kind of was expecting a little bit of an Avatar kind of world, drop into a new planet. There may be I don't know, another creature that could kill you. So what kind of changes to the map environment can we expect?
I think you can expect more things on the activity layer that I was talking about. There'll probably be a little bit more nuance and variety in the things to do.
Okay.
But I think that the experience of what it means to be on Dire Marsh isn't going to change in any sort of fundamental way.
Okay.
I'll add that Dire Marsh is our oldest map that's gotten the most love. Perimeter was comparatively pretty fresh and actively in development when we were closing for alpha. So, like, you're going to see more noticeable differences when playing perimeter than you will Dire Marsh. But that'll also go along with new map. So I think that.
I'm so excited for the new maps. A couple folks were wondering with the maps, right? It feels like perimeter is easier than Dire Marsh, and some viewers were maybe thinking that there was like a natural progression with maps. So like you would start in perimeter and then move, get good loot and move up to Dire Marsh and get better loot and then move to the third map and then the fourth map. Is that true or?
This is my favorite question.
Okay.
That's absolutely true. Yeah, we're trying to set different goals and experiences and play styles with each map that we do. Oh no, player. Yep.
Glitch.
Glitch over there.
Dead.
Thank you.
I can finish. Nice job.
Yeah, you see that you get forced into perimeter first. Like we're intentionally trying to make perimeter easier is probably a reductive word for it, but it's definitely like a little bit more new player friendly, a little bit more intuitive. Maps have different goals and we're going for different experiences. So like we're not trying, like, having more maps and more variety is good, but just maps for map's sake isn't exactly what we want. Like we want maps to have different flavors of experiences, so different players or same player in different moods can decide why they would go to perimeter, why they would go to marsh, why they would go to the marathon ship, and like actually deliver on different experiences. So I think that inherently makes a progression. We use intensity a lot internally, and perimeter and Dire Marsh represent our lowest intensity maps right now, which is very exciting. Like if you're finding that these two maps are too relaxing,
oh no,
there's good stuff coming.
I'm scared of Dire Marsh. So the intensity of the maps are a progression, right? So you perimeter, then Dire Marsh, then what's coming in the future.
Yes, at least that's what we're trying to do. We have a few different like vectors that speak to intensity in terms of like what we're asking you to do, how big the map is. But like you still want to, you don't want to force a specific experience on there. Like you can clearly have a very intense experience on perimeter and marsh, and that's good and everything.
So on the maps, Josh, do you think there will be any kind of like vehicles or like maybe like a team-based mobility options, like zip lines or like a jump pad or anything like that?
Great question.
I think you'll see some of like the sort of individual like movement options they'd be familiar with from other Bungie games show up.
Okay.
Like where the movement speed is very near and dear to this game, both from a combat perspective, but also from like a map development perspective. If players move faster, that makes the map effectively smaller. You have to change things to sort of compensate. But yes, you'll see some of those like fun ways to get around pop up to different degrees. Certainly in different maps.
Okay.
I don't think I would put a lot of hope on vehicles. That's just a different game.
True. Yeah.
But, yeah. I don't know. Hopefully a long timeline in front of us. Give you some fun map insight here. So we have this area of the data wall where ticks are spawning.
Yep.
That is actually the only area in both Dire Marsh and perimeter, at least in this build, where you're guaranteed ticks every time.
Ooh.
They are randomized to a degree, but we felt this area was so cool and so ticky that it would be underwhelming to come here and not see any ticks. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
people
like
will come here after we kill them, but we like that as like a fun, unique experience.
In regards to the rain, apparently the rain could help you not overheat as much. Would there be detrimental weather effects, like a sand storm or something, or a, a sunlight that maybe makes you overheat faster, or needing shade to avoid that issue or something?
Trying to figure out a good way to do this. Like, yeah, we're excited about all of that stuff, and we're working on like new types of weather. I don't know, like we have lightning in this right now. That's sort of like a first stab at sort of negatively impacting weather. I mean, I guess all like fog and stuff has like its more subtle effect, but yeah, you'll see more of that sort of stuff as we go. I think we're going to be investing in improving like the existing weather states here first and foremost to make sure like hitting our goals, but things like rain making your heat build up more slowly and have other things that do the opposite are inherently exciting, and like we'll work with like the combat team and figure out what they're excited about too, what the feedback from Alpha says, and work that into your plan.
That's exciting. I know just a general comment, I'm really loving the Alpha. I really, really love it. I'm excited that there's like new weapons coming, and excited for the new maps. I love like the unpredictability of it, and it's chaotic.
Great. It makes me really happy to hear. It's a lot of work by
they said there might be more an alien race lunar.
Get stuff into a state.
Not necessarily more creatures.
We're even comfortable with people seeing. Like I come from an art background, and like nothing is ever done. Maybe you just gotta rip the band-aid and have people take a look, get some thoughts.
Is there going to be anything in the map besides like the heals that you patch kits and the shield charges that could heal you? I know there was maybe talk about a sort of like medic lifeline character coming, but would there be any spots in the map that maybe could heal you as well?
I don't think we have any plans for like healing map specific stuff.
Okay.
Certainly like items and runners are really appropriate for that. Not saying we can't do it in the future, but that's just not in the current plan.
Okay. Has there been any feedback about the Alpha that like has taken you by surprise? Or I know you did kind of talk about this right in the beginning, or has it all the feedback been like expected?
Yeah, I don't think other than like one-off wild takes here and there,
yeah.
I don't think there's any bit of feedback that has been like completely surprising. It's really just where the feedback sort of stack ranks against what other people, like what people are saying.
Right.
Oh, turns out this is the second most important thing. We thought it was the fifth most important thing. Like,
right,
I don't think we actively, like, I mean, we're generating that data now, but it's not quite that simple. I'll talk like the art style, and specifically the criticisms on the look of the game, specifically as it relates to exteriors. Like that was one where we were iterating on that. We're talking about it a bunch internally, and we put it out there on Alpha, and I think like people care about it more than I will say that I expected. I cared about it, but like I'm an art guy.
Right.
I don't know that everyone's going to key in on it as much as I would, and I think people have. So like it was already an ongoing I don't know, discussion area of development, and the feedback from Alpha, like feedback itself isn't prioritizing, but how vocal and how pervasive it is, I think bumps it up in terms of our priorities. So
got it.
We're addressing it, and we care about it more now, and that's one that's pretty close to me.
I absolutely love the art direction. I think everything is super cool.
And it's one of the things that attracted me to work on this. Like I had worked on Destiny for years, and it is,
Wow.
it is a fun, like, creative, professional challenge to make another game in a different style, because like all of my instincts are keyed in on Destiny, and we're not trying to make another Destiny, we're trying to make a marathon. So that's just like a really fun, like, personal challenge and journey to learn how to do that and learn how to do it in a style that like does not originate with me, but I am and other people on the team are like a critical part in developing what the style of the game ends up being.
What was the map dev process? Like, are you building from a PUI to big picture, or discussing what each area should have as far as like, you know, lanes, etc., and stuff like that?
Get out of this grill. Yeah, I'm gonna use Perimeter as an example. Like I mentioned, March is our older map, so it had a more storied history. Perimeter followed a more like normal dev cycle. We sort of start with like what is the premise of the map? Like what are the gameplay goals that we're trying to get out of it? And like for that one, we want this to be a little more new player friendly. We want it to hit a lower intensity than March, but still extraction shooter. So we kind of like put those goals together, and then we start like taking stabs at like what is possible and to hit them, and that's things like number of POIs, number of regions, player count, and like we settled on shooting for 5 major regions pretty early on, and then worked with the team. This was not all me, or even mostly me. It was a bunch of people to sort of figure out where those regions are and their connections. And like early on, that's more important than the regions themselves. So like right now, Station, this is a region. At that stage, we don't really care about what the internal layout to Station is. We care more about how does it relate to the North Relay, how does it relate to the wall, how does it, oh, glitch over here. Those connections. And then once you have like that, and like the general footprint size of the map feels right in terms of how long it takes to get from place to place, then you can get more local and do like individual layout.
Do you think there'll be a streamer mode? Maybe cut down on like stream sniping?
I'm just not the person for for that. I don't want to lead you either way because I genuinely don't know.
How are you guys doing? You know, like mental health wise? You guys finding ways to relax?
Love that question.
And take time for yourself?
I love that.
Generally, yes. Like mental health and everything is a high priority, both for the like we're humans who care about each other reasons, but also like a burned out team isn't making good stuff anyways. So yeah, we take time, and like the sort of grind to get to launch is a very real thing that will have its peaks and valleys and intensity. It has its own milestones with it that will like require people to not even necessarily spend a significant amount more time, but like we really need forward progress on stuff, and we need good traction on the most important things. But we try to balance that with like, yeah, here's some time to do things that are creatively interesting and a little more relaxing to the brain. So everyone's doing different degrees. There's a lot of things going on inside of Bungie on this project, a lot of things going on outside in the rest of the world. But yeah, we're holding it together.
Good.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for the compliments. If you have other questions on your list that you'd like to get answers to, I'd be happy to like follow up, and like if you want to DM me on the Discord, I'd be happy. This was a great time.
Awesome. I had so much fun.
All right,
Josh,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much for the session. We really appreciate you answering our questions, and we're very excited about the game.
Yes, we share the same sentiment. You have a great rest of your day, guys. It was fun.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Josh Markham, thank you so much for answering all the questions. We really appreciate the play session, and thank you for taking your time to do this Q&A with myself and Active. I know the community really loved it, and we're very excited for September and to see what you guys have been cooking for the last couple months. So thank you again, Josh Markham, Senior Art Lead at Bungie, responsible for the maps and the environments and design and art direction, map team lead. So thank you very much.